All right, today we're going to go over some winter maintenance for vacant properties. One of the biggest problems we have is burst water pipes over the winter time from freezing. So one of the ways we can alleviate some of the damage is to help shut off the water. We'll find our main shutoff valve here, generally located towards the front of the home. We see our water coming in from the street, runs right up here to our main valve and our water meter. So you're going to want to turn off the water at the main valve here. That way it'll keep water from flowing into the system over the wintertime. So if we do get any cracked or burst pipes, that way water will stop. It'll only drain what's in the system. Next thing we want to do is we want to check our foundation all the way around to check for any drafts in our basement. We want to make sure we don't have any drafts letting cold air in, which causes the temperature to drop dramatically in the basement and throughout the house, causing pipes to burst and break. You'll see here we have a window right in the front of the home. We want to make sure that's sealed up all the way around. No air is getting in. We also have a small window all the way in the back of this property that we're going to want to seal up. The other big problem that a lot of people miss is basement doors. You'll see here we have a Bilco door built in. Looks like it's pretty airtight from the outside. We got a little bit of daylight coming in there. We just want to make sure that we can seal that up as best as possible to keep as much air out over the winter time to keep our pipes from freezing. So after you make sure you turn all your water off, we're going to head back upstairs. We're going to find our thermostat and we're going to set our temperature to about 55, 60 degrees. Now once we set our temperature to that 55, 60 degrees, looks like we're about at 55 right now. That should give us enough heat throughout the house to keep pipes from bursting. Last thing you're going to want to do is go through, check all your windows, check all your doorways. Make sure your windows are locked. That'll help keep them sealed. If not, you can always do a little helpful tip with some caulk or some plastic wrap on your windows to help seal and keep drafts out over the winter time while the property is vacant. You see here at the tops of our windows, we're probably going to want to go through and do some caulking. Looks like they're starting to fall out a little bit. Close up those gaps, keep some air out. All right. One of the other things we're going to want to do is make sure you flush all the toilets in the house. Anything that holds water, such as a toilet, you're going to want to make sure is free of any water. That way it does not freeze itself in the tank, cracking your toilet tank or the toilet bowl itself. So we only have one bathroom in this property. Looks like it was already drained. Real simple, we're just going to flush it, make sure all the water is drained out of the tank.
One more last step that's really important is draining the sink lines. So you're really actually draining the lines to the whole house when you drain the sink. You want to pick the lowest sink in the house, which is normally going to be the kitchen sink on the first floor. And what you want to do is turn the faucet on and you want to just let it drain. You want to make sure that you get both the hot line and the cold line. All right, so if it's a sink like this, you just let it drain on the one side till it completely stops. And this would eventually stop going. You can see it's already slowing down. Then you want to switch it over to the cold side and let that completely drain. And then when it's done and it's completely drained, turn it off. And that will get all the water out of all the lines. The only thing to consider is that could be a problem is if the house has a boiler and radiators, the big cast iron radiators. That will have water in too, and there's really no way to drain them quickly. So if the heat's running, you're fine, but if the heat stops running, the boilers could freeze and crack. There's really no way to guard against that other than to make sure the heat stays on. So if you have, negative, 10-degree days, you might want to stop by and check any house with boilers that's a single family home. All right, thanks.